Hey everyone, welcome to Dave's Bonsai. On today's show, I'm jumping into the fish pond. Hey everyone, welcome to Dave's Bonsai. In the sense that I have a branch that splits into two shoots in here, so I'm probably going to cut this thing off right about here this fall. I've taken my knob cutter and I've gotten rid of some of that. So I just put them on the bottom, growing upwards into the bag. We fill it with trees and then we water as we need to. We try to get rid of those air pockets. So if you're wondering what a fish pond has to do with bonsai, well, I'm going to tell you. I have the wonderful opportunity to head up to northern Minnesota tomorrow to go bogging for some tamaracks, some American larch. So I've been told I need a few things to be ready for my first harvesting trip in north central Minnesota, and so I got some supplies. We're going to be cutting the taproot of the tamaracks with some good old pruning shears. And so I got a nice one that stretches out, make it really long for those hard to reach spots. So this is going to cut the taproot free, so we got to carry this around. It's a little bit heavy and bulky, but I got that, so check. I've got a bag full of bags, and I also have some small garbage bags. So we're going to wrap the roots in these bags. Now, I've been told that the diameter of the trunks on these tamaracks will be from 1 to 4, maybe up to 5 inches. Somewhere between 1 and 5, let's say. And when you cut the taproot off, I've been told there's not a really big display of roots on these tamaracks grown in the bog, because they just don't frankly need it. There's so much water there that it's soaking it up through the roots that they do have. But there is a fair amount of sphagnum moss type material that'll be clinging to the more delicate feeder roots that are available on the tree. So we're going to be, I guess, picking our tree and finding that taproot and cutting that out, and then we're going to slowly put them into bags if they'll fit. That's why I got the bigger garbage bags. And then we're going to, hoist them back to our vehicles. And then I've been told it's imperative that we get home and we put them in pots as soon as possible. Now this is about a 3.5 hour trek for me up north, so they're going to be in the car for a good 4 hours before we put them into the pots. So we'll bring that to you tomorrow night, hopefully, if all goes well. So I've got my bags checked. So the other thing that I need, that I had to go out and get, was a set of, some hip or chest waders, because we're going to be going around on some bogs. Now, I went and got ones that come right up to my chest, because when I go to my cabin, which is also in northern Minnesota, when we take the dock out, put the dock in, and that annual ritual, none of the hip waders at the cabin fit me, because my dad and my brother have, smaller feet than I do. So today I went out shopping and got myself my first pair of boots with waders attached to them, so I don't get totally drenched and walk in the muck. So here they are. So now it's time to put these guys on, and then we're going to test them out in the pond. So we're going up north. A friend from the Minnesota Bonsai Society that I'm a member of has a couple of friends, or at least one friend, that owns some property in north central Minnesota. I know where we're going to meet, but I can't divulge the location at this point. But we're going to head up there, and we're going to go in there and spend a couple hours in the bog. And I've been told that that's enough to pretty much wipe you out. We're getting there. We're all set to jump into the pond. All the fish are on this side of the pond, so I think this is my chance. Yeah. Wow, I'm quite impressed. I did not think there would be this much pressure in about a 2.5 foot pond on my boots. But I am dry. I don't feel any water tickling the toes yet. This is so cool. I don't think I've seen the pond from this perspective in quite a while. Ooh, I should borrow the camera for this shot. It's kind of pretty. As this, oh, and look, there's a yellow warbler. Ooh, that would have been great timing. Well, let's just sit in here for a while and see if it starts to leak at all. I think it's pretty good. Ooh, it makes me super buoyant. I could probably sit like this for hours. One of my favorite places to be in the backyard. Watching the fish. Squatting in my pond. I've created quite a stir, so the odds of seeing a goldfish are a little bit less likely. I think they passed the test. So far, so good. At least in the goldfish pond. So I took some pictures. We're good. I'm still not wet. Time to get out. All right. The true test will come tomorrow. So we're going to be in a very boggy area, and we're going to be traipsing around for an hour to 2 hours in the bog, up and down, and that suction and muck on our feet, and hopefully finding some great bonsai material. So we'll get some more shots between now and then. I'm not sure what, where, how, but we'll take care of you. All right, let's get these things off. I think this was a wise investment. It's about 6:15 in the a.m. Slept like crap last night. I think I was just too excited to get up there. So I should check the car. Actually, I should just show you the car. I'm dropping a whole bunch of stuff up in the Brainerd area at my cabin before I go up north for the larch hunt. So I stuffed a whole bunch of things for our family trip, which is happening tomorrow after this day trip. And I just stuffed the car to the gills so we'd have less to bring up tomorrow. A couple fishing poles, life jackets, old inner tubes. Stuff for today. I usually don't pack this crazy. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It's crazy. And we didn't even show you the truck. Alright, we're on a time schedule. Let's head up north and start the quest for some larch. Been coming up to the Brainerd Lakes area all my life, and when we were a kid, we were on this very, well, not this exact road, but just one or a couple blocks north of this road. We'd go up to the shack. Now we come up to the cabin, which is our own place on the Gull River. And when we would come down this road, we'd always be looking for that little sparkle of water to appear as we would come through the woods, anxiously awaiting to get out of the car after 3 hours. And so here we are, the first leg of the trip. And in our particular driveway, you can't see the water till about now. Get that glisten of water. As the dragonfly buzzes in front of me. We arrive at the cabin. Time to unload some stuff. Our cabin is situated on the Gull River, and as much as I would love to go and throw a line in the channel right now. We have to save that for another time. So it's a little after 9 o'clock, and a lot of fishing and fun to be had at the cabin in the next couple of days. But today, Saturday, I got to meet a couple guys. I still got 2 hours of driving to go to get up there and look for some of those larches. So we're just going to jump back in the car, drive in part 2, and let's get up there to do some bogging for some larches. All right. So even though there's nothing worse than just going from in the car to prize in the trunk, we were in a private property place where, don't want to divulge where that was, in north central Minnesota, but they graciously allowed us to go get our trees. We went bogging and came out with all kinds of stuff. So I got a couple of them right here that you can see in the trunk. So we got our larches. Super excited. And I'll show you some in the back seat that are coming through at the bottom of those barrels. From the back trunk back there, all the way to these bins, I've got some more just tucked in here. Got about 10 to 12. I lost count. I have to say that was exhilarating, but got the waders up to here. We're crawling into that bog and looking for the tree that just spoke to us. And again, I got about 10 to 12 trees. Can't wait to kind of sort them out. And of course, the hope is to keep them all alive, and we'll start doing stuff with them more next year. But we'll just get them into pots and hope for the best. So it's time to drive home. We'll catch you at home doing some repotting in a little bit. All right. So we're in these bogs of sphagnum moss, and all these trees from various sizes and ages and thicknesses are in this bog of material. Just tons and tons of sphagnum moss and other trees growing, branches. Some really good sphagnum moss that I can cultivate if I wanted to. I could put it in water and just let it grow. So I got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up there. So I thought I had 10 or 11. There might be some doubles in here that I'm forgetting about. Maybe I left some there. I don't know. So we got to get these in these pots, but getting rid of the bags that's holding in the moisture. And then we're going to add some bonsai soil and get these all potted so they are ready to go. So I'm going to get some soil ready and we'll be on our way. I have 1 bag of lava rock left. My pumice bags are gone, though I do have some finer stuff. So first I sifted off the biggest possible size. I'm going to put that in some pots. I made 2 pots with extra wood I had laying around. I'm hoping a couple will fit in there, but they might not be deep enough. I think these pots are going to all have to be used because of the depth. This is by far my biggest tree. And what I've learned from people who have collected in these bogs in northern Minnesota is that when you take a tree that's about 1 inch thick, this one's probably a little more than 1 inch, per inch on these trees grown in the bogs is over 30 years old. So though it's only about a 4-foot tree, it's been growing in the bog for approximately 40 years. Now, I don't know the science behind that. That's just what I've been told from the people who have collected multiple times. It's my biggest bog at the bottom, so I need my biggest pot. I don't want to take too much apart for fear of ruining some of the smaller feeder roots. So we're going to go ahead and just keep tearing at it. So there we have the first one done. My bigger pots, bigger tree. Got rid of a little bit more of that taproot. I might cut some of that off a little bit later. But I got more trees to get into pots. Now I put back some of that sphagnum moss that'll hold in some of that moisture on hot days. Because these things were in bogs, so we're going to keep them really wet this summer. 9 trees. 2 in wooden crates. We got 9 tamaracks of various sizes and shapes. Pretty sweet. Some broken branches along the way. A couple I clipped off. About a foot off that tall one right there. A little bit off that back one. This tree had the least amount of roots on it, so I'll be watching him carefully, hoping he survives. Everybody else, I think we have something to work with. So, gotta find a place to put them protected from the sun and all the wind we're supposed to get tomorrow. Don't want these things toppling over. Whew. It's a lot of work. 9 trees transplanted. I got a little bit of pumice and lava rock in there. Sphagnum moss, natural from the environment, all on top. Holding some of that moisture will keep those things wet. And protection from the sun for the next several weeks. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed and hope that we still have 9 next year. I have a sneaky suspicion I'll lose 1 or 2, but you know, 10% loss isn't the end of the world. A big thank you to Bosco, a big thank you to Michael, both from Minnesota Bonsai Society. What a great day. Next time we'll show some footage in the field, schmucking around in all that bog. It was fabulous. A lot of fun. Flies got a little bothersome, but you know what? I didn't even pay attention most of the time because we were getting these trees. So that's all I got for this episode. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Everybody stay safe and keep bonsaiing, and we'll see you soon. All right, take care, everybody. Hey everyone, welcome to Dave's Bonsai. In the sense that I have a branch that splits into 2 shoots in here, so I'm probably going to cut this thing off right about here this fall. I've taken my knob cutter and I've gotten rid of some of that. So I just put them on the bottom, growing upwards into the bag. We fill it up with trees and then we water as we need to. We try and get rid of those air pockets.